Hello and welcome to another video where I'm fitting accessories to this BMW R1300GS. Today I'm going to be fitting a device which is meant to deal with the problem with the rear brake lights. For those of you who don't know the bike terribly well, the issue is this. If you look at the back of the bike, it looks like you just have two indicators and no rear light. Within each of the indicators is housed the tail light, the brake light and the indicator. That's all well and good, but the problem comes when you have poor light conditions. At that point it can be extremely difficult when you're braking to see that the indicators are on. What I'm going to be fitting, and excuse me from reading from a bit of paper, but it is quite a complicated name. It's a WEISER BMW Multifunctional Rear Indicator Rear Sequencing Module with Auxiliary Brake Connectivity and this optional Denali B6 rear light. I'm not doing a full tutorial on how to fit this. There's an excellent link which I'll post where someone's already done this. This is just to give the impressions and how effective it is on this bike. Fitting the module itself is very simple. Under the seat you have to remove this brace, and then there's a clip in there and another one in there which have connectors on them. You take out the connectors, disconnect the connectors and then plug this device in. What you see sitting out here is the connection for the brake light itself. The brake light then goes on the rear number plate. Okay, so I wasn't going to do a full fitment video, but just to show you how difficult it is to get in here to get the wire going up. In order to get the wire going up, you have to remove the rear number plate, then remove the 3 bolts behind the rear number plate which allow you to get access behind here. Then underneath here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. So it's underneath there you've got the 4 bolts. That help this come out. Then your pannier fitments have 3 bolts, 1 underneath here and 1 in each side, go there and in there. They need to come out on both sides. Once that's all done, this will drop down and the cover that goes past the sensor etc will come free, and then you can get in to run your wire all the way up and in there. It's probably the most complicated taking apart of a rear light cluster I've come across. Things you don't need to do: you don't need to undo the indicators, which I have done, but that's about it. Everything else needs to come off. Okay, so here's the end result. As you can see, currently I've got the lights on. If I put the indicators on, it should give you a bit of an indication of the problem. Now I know that, and I put the brake on as well. Now I don't know whether you can even see the indicators going there at all at the moment on the brake lights, maybe just. But it's a fairly good scenario at the moment because there's not a lot of direct sunlight. But you can see essentially when I put the brake on that the indicators are quite masked. It's meant to do this with the hazard lights where you still have the tail lights on, but if I take the hazard lights off for a second, then you'll see that where I put the right hand indicator on, the tail light stops working at the same time. If I put the brake on, only the 2 remaining brake lights carry on working, so the indicator is very obvious and the brake lights are very obvious too. And again, if I go the other side, it does the same thing too, turns off the tail light, and when I put the brake light on, very clear brake lights, very clear indicator, etc. Then there you go, tail lights back on again. So I hope you found this informative, and thanks for watching, and I'll put a link in the description to the various websites for fitting guides and also for where to buy the kit. Thanks for watching.
Who jammer flip?
Who jammer flip?
Hello and welcome to Oscar. As a result, I'm fitting 2 things. One's a little attachment, and I'm using a bit of paper here because it's quite complex to say. It's a WEISER BMW Multifunctional Rear Indicator Resequencing Modular. A WEISER BMW Multifunctional Rear Indicator Rear Sequencing